Welcome to an overview demonstration of the Accounts Receivable module from DELMIA Works. With Accounts Receivable, users have a complete system that allows the management of all customer receivable activities from invoicing, cash receipts, checking account status, running account statements, and financial ratio reports. All of these elements help users stay appraised of organization collection activities with regard to accounts receivable. The processes that are built into the Accounts Receivable module allow users to automate many mundane tasks, eliminating many of the errors that are inherent in a manual system. We will also be exploring the Customer Master Record, including setup and feature listing, as well as the Customer Status, where users can review the current activity of a customer and where they stand with their receivables. Finally, we will take a look at the invoicing and cash receipt processes. Let's begin by looking at the Customer Master file. This particular customer has many ship-tos and bill-tos. In this type of occasion, we might be dealing with a national account that's got multiple ship-to locations all over the country, or even all over the world. Each of those ship-to locations might have regional bill-to addresses. This system gives users the ability to set all of that up under a single customer record, providing the ability to complete all financial analysis under a national or main account, and also by ship-to and bill-to location. Within the Credit Status tab, the Status field allows users to put customers on a different level of credit hold depending on the situation. For example, we can put a customer on complete credit hold by selecting the Credit Hold option. A user could also put this customer on a quote hold, meaning the organization can receive a quote from this customer but unable to process the quote any further. Ship hold can also be selected, meaning an order can be accepted and produced, but the process will stop when it comes to shipping the products out the door. Finally, a manufacturing hold prevents the actual production of an order, though the order itself can be accepted into the system. The status date is also displayed. In this case, ABCO Incorporated has been active since 1985 and are not on a credit hold. Users can see how long this organization has been a customer. The next field shows the particular payment terms for this customer, which is user-definable. This allows for the addition of things like early payment discounts by setting up term codes that are standard in your particular business. The system uses this information when generating invoices and tracking cash receipts. Users also have the ability to establish a credit limit for each customer. The system will actually check the credit limit periodically depending on different transactions in the system. For example, when a user enters a sales order, the system is going to look at the current open orders within the customer's accounts receivable and evaluate where they stand against their credit limit. If the particular customer were to exceed their credit limit, the system will present a message to the user saying that the customer has done so. Security can be put in place to prevent further activity without approval. The system will also check the credit limit at the time of shipping to be sure, at that particular point in time, the customer has not exceeded their credit limit. This gives the user the option of possibly holding off on shipments until the customer has brought their account into good standing. The Auto Invoicing tab gives users the ability to define how an invoice is generated for this customer. For example, if it's preferred that for this customer, one PO per packing slip is standard, that can be accomplished in this screen. Another example is that this particular customer may prefer to have multiple packing slips combined onto a single invoice. That can be done here as well. The option to use ship date when auto-invoicing is also on this tab. Selecting this option tells the software that when an invoice is generated, we want to use the ship date as the invoice date to make sure they both match. Under the Contacts tab, the system gives users the ability to set up multiple contacts for a customer. This can be done at the main customer level, at the ship-to level for individuals that are located at their individual facilities, or at their individual bill-tos. Within a contact, users have the ability to auto-e-form certain forms within the system. Each one of the statements, invoices, bills of lading, order acknowledgements, packing slips, SPC data for quality, and certificates of conformance can all be auto-generated by the software at different times, then automatically emailed out to the contacts at the customer when they're being generated. For our example, Tom Jones would receive the invoice, the bill of lading, and the packing slip electronically via email once any of these documents have been generated by the system for this customer. Switching over to AR invoicing, the system provides the ability to automatically generate invoices for every shipment. Under Options, Then auto-invoicing. The system gives users the ability to set a date, to which the system will reference and look for any shipment that was made on or before that date that had not previously been invoiced. The system will then generate an invoice at that time for each one of those shipments. Once those invoices have been generated, users have the ability to review them in order to validate the quantities, pricing, GL accounts, and so on prior to posting them in the system. Users also have the ability to run a pre-post batch review found under the Reports menu. Users have all of these reports available to them within the financial modules of DELMIA Works. This particular report gives the users the ability to review all of the generated items that will be posted to the general ledger. Once the user defines the criteria for the report, it will be displayed on the screen, available for viewing. Users have the ability to add additional charges to invoices for unique situations. One of these might be the case for special handling charges for an order. This can be done by selecting Miscellaneous and then the plus sign. At the bottom of the screen, any related sales order and/or shipment notes will be displayed for review. Users also have the ability to look at things like customer purchase orders, sale order numbers, and packing slip numbers that were used to generate this particular invoice. Users also have the ability to apply credit card payments to an invoice. In this case, when the invoice is posted, the system will automatically generate a cash receipt payment against the invoice, marking it as paid. This is a helpful feature in that sales orders can be set up as credit card or cash in advance, meaning that until the organization receives payment, the relevant orders will not be shipped. In this case, once payment has been applied to the invoice, the system will release the sales order for shipment. The system also provides the ability to process all AR invoicing by user, meaning that an organization can have multiple people entering and processing AR invoices at the same time for the same customer. When it comes time to post, the system can have the individual user post their invoices, the ones that they generated, or the system can wait to post all at the same time by a single user. These settings are fully configurable within the system. Once the invoices have been posted to the general ledger, users have the ability to review the customer status. The customer status gives users the ability to view all of the activity for that customer. For example, if we're looking at the customer Abco Incorporated, we can see all of their open invoices, the invoice dates, the payment terms for the invoices, the amount on the invoices, and the balance remaining. From here, I can right-click and jump to the invoice and see its details. Say a customer called and notified a user that they are missing an invoice. From this screen, the user has the ability to email the invoice to the particular customer. To do this, the user would click the print icon at the top of the screen, select Email as the destination, and select the specific email address from the provided pick list. From here, a note can be added to the email. Then the user can email the invoice to the customer as a PDF. Also on this screen is a large Void button. If a user notices there is an issue with this invoice, whether it be a pricing issue or perhaps an expedited charge was not added, they have the ability to void the invoice and generate a new one. When a user does this, the system will ask some questions about the purpose of voiding the invoice, which then creates an audit trail and backs out of the invoice. The system will then give the option to create a pre-post invoice for a user to be able to go in and edit at a later point in time. The Void button is only available until the organization has received cash against the invoice. Once cash has been received, the button becomes unselectable by the system. Much like unposted invoices, users have the ability to view order notes, shipment notes, packing slips, and sales orders. The system allows for the same jump to functionality for these items, allowing users to quickly access more details with regard to this particular shipment. Within the Customer Ledger Inquiry tab, the system gives users the ability to look at all invoices for a particular customer within a certain date range. Users can also view detailed payment information for the invoice. The system also allows users to view the payment history for customers. Now we're going to take a look at cash receipts. Users have the ability to set up cash receipts based on deposits being made. This can be made up of deposits made from a lockbox or checks coming into the office that are being tallied. In this screen, users can specify the amount of the total deposit. In the middle section of this screen, users can specify the individual customers who have submitted payment. This is done by selecting the plus sign. then the appropriate customer from the pick list. The user would then enter the reference or check number as well as the amount of the check. At the bottom of the screen, users have the ability to distribute payments to the proper invoices according to the open account. To do this, the user would select the plus sign to view the open account for the particular customer, then select which invoices the payment will cover. Users can also do this by customer purchase order. If the Payments tab has a reference to the customer's purchase order, this can be entered to pull up the proper invoice. A user can also select the invoice number or packing slip number, which is helpful if the customer has referenced the packing slip number on the check. Users can also perform on-account payments, so in the event that a customer is sending a payment deposit, it can be applied to their account. Once the organization invoices for the completed order, the deposit will be applied to the invoice and show the balance for the remainder. In this example, the system is indicating that the invoice is worth more than the payout amount. You can see this discrepancy between the overall invoice price and the check amount here. In this case, the system would leave a balance of $1,274 on the invoice. However, if the amount was $62.74 and the customer forgot to include cents, the user might want to write off the 13 cents. This can be accomplished as a discount and then change the account from a discount account to maybe a write-off account. The available discount will display automatically based on any predefined customer payment terms. For example, if the policy is 2% 10 net 30 and the payment is being made within 10 days, the system will automatically display the applicable discount the customer is entitled to. Selecting this button will apply the discount automatically. Once the entire amount of payment has been distributed, users can post.
DELMIA Works provides complete accounts receivable functionality to manage all income payments, allowing for invoicing, cash receipts, checking account status, and so much more. Thank you for taking the time to watch an overview demonstration of the DELMIA Works Accounts Receivable module. If you would like more information on the products and services from DELMIA Works, please visit 3ds.com/DELMIA Works.